So you're probably thinking, should I buy HappyScribe? Maybe you've been manually transcribing podcasts, adding subtitles, taking meeting notes, or simply you've seen AI transcription tools absolutely everywhere. And now you're wondering, is HappyScribe actually worth the premium price? Or is it another AI transcription tool you use twice and completely forget about it? Well, I've spent the last few weeks using HappyScribe almost every day. And honestly, in my opinion, it's one of the best AI productivity tools there are on the market. However, it's not for everyone. And that's exactly what I want to help you figure out. Well, let's start off with the biggest question. What problem is HappyScribe actually solving? Because to be honest, I think this is where most people get confused. Because most people think HappyScribe is just a transcription software. You upload a file, get some text back, download it, and that's your job done. And it might surprise you, that's not really how I ended up using it. Because everything happens after the transcript. The summaries, the subtitles, the translations, the AI chat, the meeting notes, the exports, the collaboration. Because the transcript is really just the foundation, and I think that's a far more interesting way to look at it. Now let's talk about who I actually think this is for. If you're a content creator, I think this makes a lot of sense. Because uploading a podcast, finding quotes, creating subtitles, translating videos, turning conversations into social posts, that workflow is excellent. If you're working in sales, consulting, legal, research, or any client-facing business, to be honest with you, I actually think it becomes even more valuable to you. Because now, instead of wondering, didn't someone mention that 3 weeks ago? Just ask the AI and it finds it for you. And that's something I ended up relying on way more than I actually expected. Another feature I genuinely underestimated was speaker identification. Now, I know it sounds incredibly boring, until a month later someone emails you actually saying, I never actually agreed to that. Suddenly knowing who said what and when they said it becomes far more valuable. And that same thing applies to custom glossaries. Because if your business uses product names, technical terms, or industry jargon, teaching the platform those words once saves you correcting them forever onwards. Now, obviously, nothing is perfect. So let's talk where HappyScribe may fall short for you. That being the price. Yes, there is a free plan. But if you're producing a lot of meetings, podcasts, or content every week, you're probably going to end up on one of the paid plans. Now, the second thing is there's a slight learning curve. Not because it's difficult, but there's far more features than you actually realize. Because when I first opened it, I thought, well, that's a great transcription software. And now a week later, I realized I hadn't touched the surface of what I could actually do with the product. AI chats, meeting summaries, translations, subtitle editing, the MCP, the mobile recorder. So if all you want is to convert speech into text once every couple months, it might not actually be worth it for you. Which now brings me to the biggest question, is it actually worth it? And to be honest, it actually depends on the kind of work you do. If you only occasionally need a transcript, there are cheaper tools. And to be honest, I'll probably tell you to start off there. But if conversations are part of your job, meetings, interviews, podcasts, lectures, customer research, or content creation, HappyScribe makes much more sense for you. Because you're not really just buying transcription software, you're buying a workflow. Now, the final thing I realized whilst making this review, HappyScribe isn't really competing with Google Docs, or Microsoft Word, or even other transcription tools. It's competing with lost information, with forgotten meetings, with hours spent searching through recordings. Now, if that's a problem you deal with every week, then yes, HappyScribe is for sure worth it. Now, if it isn't, you probably don't need it. And that's exactly how good software works. It should solve a real problem, not create you one.